racetrack. Meanwhile, these two just keep inching up the board as the leaders pit. Logging laps, Hamlin and Earnhardt, third and fourth.
These are the guys to watch right here.
Could this end up being the pass that wins the race? We'll see. Hamlin's hanging tough on the outside of Dale Jr.
I think that Hamlin may have been waiting for Jr. to catch him before he really tries to race him, maybe trying to save as much fuel as he can.
Well, I think these two drivers know this could be the race for the win. They also know they can easily make it to the end without stopping.
Now here's Paul Menard coming up on them. Menard has fresh tires and plenty of fuel. So right now they're kind of holding him up, but they are the third and fourth place cars. Menard is a lap down, as with most of the drivers who have led the race today.
This is when you hope that car's name is Wilma. Will my car make it?
And Kurt Busch is coming in. The leader will pit for fuel with 10 laps to go.
Man, I'd slap a little fuel in that thing and get out of there.
He will surrender the lead to his teammate Brad Keselowski.
His lap times were pretty good, and man, that's the only chance he's got.
Now Brad Keselowski, we know that he pitted 5 laps after his teammate Kurt Busch in the 22, but now he's going to have to run 8 laps from where we're at right now.
Steve?
They talked about fuel only, but right side going on for Kurt Busch in the 22s, just right side tires.
Keselowski, the new leader. Earnhardt, Hamlin will motor past Busch, who is wobbling in turn 1. He can't get going. The car may not be taking fuel.
And that would be terrible for his teammate Brad Keselowski if he can't get that car going.
He's got it. He's got it. It's fired up now. He's going. He's going. Can you imagine that?
So Kurt Busch was apparently all but out of fuel, as now he builds speed in the back straightaway, and we have 8 laps to go.
See that? He pushed the clutch in and let it coast. You got to coast. Stay off the gas.
4.9 seconds is the margin with 5 to go.
There he goes. Push the clutch in. Coast, coast, coast. Look at that.
Look at the RPM right there. He's definitely shutting it off when he rolls out of the throttle.
He's got plenty of lead over Dale Jr.
4.8.
Plenty of lead.
Junior is no longer gaining.
You're doing fine.
Larry, you tell a race driver you got to drive this thing as fast as it'll go, and now look what he's got to do to win it.
I haven't told him that in several laps.
Yeah.
I keep telling him how far that 88 car of Dale Earnhardt Jr. is back there, how many laps to go.
4.5 back, 4 laps to go.
But I love what Brad's doing. I mean, he is really doing a smart job. It's going to be oh so close.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. is doing everything he can do. He's just got to run it as hard as he can. He's pulled away from Denny Hamlin now. 3 to go for Brad Keselowski.
But something's not right there, Larry, because Earnhardt Jr. is not closing on the 2.
He hadn't been catching him very much, and you see here now, Clint Bowyer's working on the outside of Dale Jr., almost like Dale Jr.'s giving up.
Yeah, it's about a half a second a lap now that Brad Keselowski is slower than Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And you see, there goes Bowyer by Dale Jr.
But keep in mind, Bowyer's a lap down. Dick.
Junior has been told that he too has to conserve fuel, so he has had to back out a little bit.
Yeah, if Brad doesn't, I mean, Brad's got it made. I don't think he has to worry about Dale Jr. at all. I didn't think that from the get-go. He just got to worry about running out of fuel.
2 laps to go. The margin is 4 seconds.
And how do we know how to calculate gas mileage when the guy's doing what Brad's doing? When you're kicking the clutch in, coasting the car the way he's doing, how do you know?
Hamlin is 7 seconds back.
There you see Paul Wolfe made the move from the NNS Series with Brad Keselowski this year. Paul Wolfe never been to victory lane as a Sprint Cup Series crew chief.
White flag. Do you have enough fumes to get to the finish line?
Well, he's got enough lead. Doesn't have to worry about that.
3.5, 3.4, 3.3, 3.2.
Guy looks like
Earnhardt's coming.
He looks like he's crawling there. I swear, he's not going very fast at all.
3 seconds.
If he can get in here, and if he can get this thing headed toward the start-finish line.
Half a mile to go. 2.9.
You can toast from there. You can shut it off and coast.
2.8. Brad Keselowski survives and wins in Kansas.
We finally caught a break, Paul. Awesome call, man. Good job, guys.
Smart guy right there.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. second, 2.8 back. Denny Hamlin third. Their strategy paid off. Jeff Gordon fourth. Carl Edwards fifth. Kenseth, Johnson, Stewart, Kurt Busch, Greg Biffle, the top 10.
First win for Penske since winning at the Coke 600 a year ago. Kurt Busch driving the 2 car.
Penske had a pretty good
I
weekend,
want that
guys.
flag, man. I want that flag. Shall we?
Ooh, I'd be careful going out there.
Here's the flag he wants. It's there at pit road. A crewman has brought him an American flag.
Guys. Great job.
Brad Keselowski is a third-generation racer from Michigan. He got a win, a controversial one at Talladega, driving for James Finch in a car provided by Rick Hendrick to Finch, and now moves over to Penske, and he picks up a win here in the Heartland.
Last week the incredible move was pushing your teammates. This week the incredible move to me was Brad kicking that clutch in and posting into those corners, and it paid off.
Keselowski led the last 9 laps. Gas? Plenty of gas.
May not have any tires, but we're going to have gas.
You know the irony of Brad Keselowski, he got that break in 2007 to run that truck race, subbing for the suspended Ted Musgrave. He caught the eye of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. hired him full-time for the NNS.
Well, he's a Midwesterner. You know, I mean, his family has been in the ARCA series for years. They have paid their dues, man.
67th Sprint Cup win for car owner Roger Penske. Keselowski's third at Darlington was his best finish this year to date, and his first top 5 since joining the Penske team. Steve Letarte comes oh so close for the second week in a row, but they have the second best average finish of anybody in this sport this year. Dale Jr. is having a great season, congratulates Keselowski, and gets to share the flag.
Junior, no, I don't want the flag. It's like when Jimmy Johnson tried to give him the flag. I don't want the flag.
The one he wants has black and white squares on it.
That's right.
Well, Kurt Busch, you gave it such a valiant effort. How heartbreaking is it to wind up here instead of Victory Lane this afternoon?
It's all right. I'm real proud of the way this team is run. To have a car that could lead laps today and be very competitive like we were, I was all smiles. You know, I felt the groove again, to lead the race, to pace ourselves, to have team communication. It was great. It was solid. You know, there was always something in the back of my mind today that we weren't going to win, but I'm glad Brad Keselowski got this win for those Miller Lite guys. For Dodge, we're real happy to keep AAA up front all day today. You know, it's just one of those things. You're on the right side of the fuel cycle sometimes you're not, but I'm real proud of my guys, and we'll take this 9th place. I'm not discouraged at all.
Congratulations. Matt Yoakum.
And I'll tell you what, Dale Jr., there was heat, there was a spin, fuel mileage conservation. What was the biggest obstacle for you today?
Track position. Spun out there at one time trying to find some more speed, and just real loose, and which I liked it. It was hot and slick. That's the way I like it today, and just trying to get a little too much there at one time. Cost us a lot of track position, but hey, in the long run, that probably is what kind of set it up for us to finish second. We had a good car, though. It was fast all day, and just got to qualify better, so we got to work so hard.
Confidence has to be there because it just seems like this team gets better and better every week.
Yeah, we shouldn't have run second today, but you know, we got to fix some things, but we got fast cars. We can be fast.
Thanks, Junior.
75 races ago, Brad Keselowski stood in victory lane stunned after winning at Talladega. Seems like, and as I'm getting a beer bath in victory lane.
I won't put beer on you. I'll put beer on these guys. I won't put beer on a lady.
Well, I'll let you know when there's a lady standing here next to you. But I want to talk about that win. It's been 75 races since you and I stood in victory lane at Talladega. You were stunned then. What is your emotion now?
Well, right now, how good this tastes. It's hot out there. And I know there's a lot of fans out there enjoying a cold one. And this one's pretty good. But, you know, it's been a little while. But We've been so close lately. We really have. We've been kind of plugging away. We had a car that I thought was capable of winning at Bristol and got in an early wreck, and had a car last week that sat on a pole, probably had a shot at and just caught the wrong line on the restart. And same thing at Dover and Darlington, and just never could catch that good break. And you know, you can only put yourself in that position so many times before you're going to catch the right break. And we caught a great break today, and it's all because of the hard work of everybody on the Miller Lite team and working on these Dodge Chargers. And
Speaking of
making sure they got great gas mileage, that doesn't hurt either.
Well, speaking of catching a break, you had the guy who gave you a break a few years ago behind you. You had to save fuel to beat Dale Earnhardt Jr. today. How in the world did you do it?
Well, there's some secrets to it, and just maximized them all, and have plenty left. I didn't know, you know, the 14 car pitted the same time I did, and he came out in front of me. So I thought for sure I was going to run second. You know, I was just hoping to hang on to second, and nobody really told me I was leading. I don't know when I took the lead over. So somehow, you know, the scoreboard here was right in the middle of the racetrack. I looked over and caught my name on the top with about 2 to go, and I started shaking. So I'm glad they didn't tell me. You know, it's because of the hard work, it's because of the bad finishes and the struggles it's been to get here that I really appreciate this win. And I really appreciate what this means to my whole team and to everybody that's helped me to get here, and to Roger Penske and Miller Lite that have put me in this ride and stuck with me through a bad year last year. And now we're in good shape. Heck, we get one more of these wins and we can make the chase.
The Blue Deuce back in victory lane, second career win, Cup win for Brad Keselowski.
The unofficial results here. Denny Hamlin wound up third, still searching for his first win of the year. Carl Edwards, Jimmy Johnson, those guys still hanging around the top of the points picture.
Yeah, they put the solid runs in right now, Chris. Each and every week, these guys are a factor.
Clint Boyer, the Kansas native, winding up in the top 20. Mark Martin, Joey Logano, Regan Smith, who has a victory but has to work his way inside the top 20 in points if he wants to figure with Jeff Gordon and Brad Keselowski for the pending one of the 2 wild card spots. And rounding out the results from our race here in Kansas, 400 miles. A lot more.
Kansas, this is the Daytona 500 for Carl Edwards, and it seemed like at about the 250 mark in that mileage, the 99 just flipped the switch. Did the track just go away and hard to keep up?
Yeah, the track changed a little bit. It kept getting slicker and slicker, which is great. But I didn't tell Bob what I needed, and I didn't know on that restart that we were going to be so loose. So we had that one restart, and our Aflac Fusion went back, and I applaud Bob and the guys. They worked really hard and addressed the problems I had. But then we had that long green flag run at the end, which is great. I'm really glad NASCAR let it run out like that. But we just didn't have the track position. But a fun day. And congrats to Brad. Those guys did a good job with the strategy. It just, man, I really like that racetrack. This is my new favorite racetrack. If it's hot and slick like this every time, it's me. I like it.
And if you're a Carl Edwards fan, Pocono and Michigan coming up, 2 of his good racetracks.
Thank you.
Well, Denny, tell us about the day-to-day. You guys had a different pit cycle, but you guys really fought through some adversity.
Yeah, proud of our whole FedEx Freight team. Did a great job today. We had a really good car there at the beginning, and there towards the middle part, I'm thinking something gave out on the front end, and we just went real bad tight. So we decided to come in, work on it, get fuel to put us right there on that pit window, and obviously it worked out great for us. So can't say enough for this whole team. We're battling back. Pit crew's really stepping up these last few weeks and getting ourselves back in position.
Denny, you said in the spring that you felt like you guys will be headed in the right direction. It appears that you are. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the slicker the racetrack, usually the better we are. So once we get into the summer, get to these hot racetracks, especially Pocono next week, we should be in good shape.
Thank you, Denny.
November 20th, a Sprint Cup champion will be crowned. We're halfway to the chase, Jeff Hammond. Carl Edwards leads. Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt Jr. still looking for that first win. And note the win column there. Kyle Busch with a couple, along with Matt Kenseth.
I think when you look down that column, you have to pay attention to the guys who haven't won races like Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart, Clint Boyer, Ryan Newman. They know what they need to do, and they've got to win.
And then these are the points where you are from getting into the top 10. But if you're in the top 20 and you have a win, and this is important for Brad Keselowski and Regan Smith, who's 29th, then you move up to the wild card. There's 2 wild card spots, so Jeff Gordon would actually get in if we were starting.